Ta-da-da-da. It says
Thank
you
you.
are live. Well, hello, world. We're here live talking to you from two different parts of North America, Canada, and the United States. My name is Miriam Cunha, and we are live again on Sundays, evenings, every Sunday, and we have tonight a very special guest, Susy Quan Castillo. Hey, Susie,
Hi.
everybody can hear you now.
Great. Thank
Say
you
hello.
for inviting me. Hello, world. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me.
My absolute pleasure to have you here and to talk about this very interesting subject we're going to be talking. It will be the main subject, but I'm pretty sure we're going to sidetrack because we're not going to be controlling everything because we're talking about letting control go. So we're
Exactly.
flowing with the universe, flowing with the live video. So can you tell us something about you? What do you do? What do you like to do? And
Sure.
what's
So I am from Guatemala. I was born there. And I came to the States about 30 some years ago. I've studied computer science. I graduated from college there in California, and I worked in computers for 15 years. And 15 years ago, I started my own business. I work with biotechnology, and I help to heal people from within. We're made of energy in the cell. So we work with the mitochondria. We recharge the mitochondria to help you accelerate the healing, the natural doctor that you have inside to help you to recover from injury and infection and all that. We wake up that doctor inside, and yeah, you release stress, anxiety, tension, and it helps you to regenerate the muscles, the tendons, and the ligaments as well. So that's what I
yeah,
do. I've had it for 15 years.
yeah, I had the pleasure to be treated by you a few
Yes, you
years
did.
ago when I was in Portland, and I find that fascinating and amazing. I totally believe on energy treatment and frequencies and light, and because
True.
we are light, and like you said, healing from within. This is, I think, the most powerful healing we have. Instead of treating the symptoms like the traditional medicine deals with things like, oh, you have a headache, then you take a pill and the headache is gone, but you don't know why you had a headache, right? And it
Right.
will come back if there is something going on.
Yeah. The
And
body is very wise. The body knows what's going on. And if we stop and listen to it, we figure out where it came from. And the wisdom within knows what to do. We just need to help it a little bit. Yes.
that's right. I have had in some meditations uh, like an insight view of how we are, this light being. It's like a set of lights, of little rainbows moving around. That's what I've seen. I was like, oh, this is what we are. We are this infinite set of little rainbows moving all around. That was an
Yeah.
incredible vision in a meditation. And
Yeah,
I know you.
actually, the atom, if you look at the atom, it has a lot of movement inside. And, the ions and the positive, negative. It's a lot of energy. That's how they came up with the atomic bomb by breaking up the atom. So your dream was very accurate. We have a lot of light inside and a lot of energy. And without that energy, we don't exist.
And like this background here, as above, as below, it's like as outside as inside. So we're a little. pattern of, no, let's say a piece of the pattern of the universe. So it's like we're an entire universe inside of a bigger universe. And you and I are parallel universes.
Yes, we are. A universe from within as well as outside. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And thinking about that kind of idea, how can we relate that to actually letting control go? Because when you think about the universe being so amazingly complex and infinite, how can we think that we have to control everything?
Yeah.
Right. I think the system actually teaches us or pushes us into thinking that we have to have everything under control, when it's better to flow, like
Go
the
with the flow.
water flows
Hmm.
through the rocks in a creek. What do you think about that?
There is a stronger wisdom in the universe that will help us make decisions. But we human beings are control freaks, and we want to control others, control situations, outcomes. And I think that when we let go, which is very hard to do, of control, amazing thing happens. And one thing that tells you when to let go and what to do is in your heart chakra. When you feel like something is right, you have to go with it. But when you feel this awkward or sour feeling or pain, that means that you're controlling something that is not to be controlled. Also, I was with a friend that lost her mom. She lost her mom to COVID-19 in Ecuador. And she was having a lot of sadness of not controlling being able to be there and other issues. And
Oh,
yeah, it was pretty sad. It's the world that we're in right now. And somehow I came up with this analogy, and she said, you have to write it down. So the analogy is this: we think of it as we have uh, a place where we put a seed, which is earth, right? We put a seed, a good seed, on good earth, and then we water it every day. We water the seed, and the seed turns into a plant which produces tomatoes, cucumbers, whatever you want. You have control of that particular plant that you planted. But then if you see the neighbor who planted whatever seed he wanted, and whether he watered it or not, that's not within your control. Only what you did, what you can do, but not what others are doing. So it was a simple thing.
I would like to add something to that, because even the plant you planted, you don't have control over it, because
Yes.
you went with the flow, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna plant the seed, and then you nourish it, and then you let it flow, because the seed itself is gonna grow, right?
Mhm.
Grow according to the pattern that it has, and you can help, but
Help.
you don't really have total control of how the
Oh,
plant.
that's very accurate. Absolutely. I hadn't thought about that, because the DNA from the seed and the plant and the sun, how much sun, you do not control the sun, right? Or the
Is it
temperature.
the same thing as a baby, right? Because it is a seed planted inside of a woman's womb, and we tend to think, oh, it's mine, but it's actually not. It's growing because it's part of the universe, of of nature, of how it flows,
Mhm.
and it's going to be another being, and it's not yours. And it's somebody
Yeah.
you are here to help,
Yeah.
but not to control.
Yeah. You're
Because
there is borrowed. and see what kind of a good job or not so good job you do. But the baby does not belong to you. It was borrowed for a time. And then they fly and they do whatever they have to do, right?
But it is so difficult. I find it sometimes difficult to detach from the control of things like that. And it is always a lesson to learn, because after having Ibrahim, my son, like I've been through this lesson several times, especially when he left home. You know, it's like, oh, he's gone. And
Mm-hmm.
I never had, actually, I should understand that I never really had control over him. I was just facilitating his journey. But to understand that deeply on my feelings, it was a very hard lesson to learn. And then I actually was able to look at how my mom was, what she was feeling when I left too, especially moms. We're talking mom, because I think the mother is
Yes.
more of that control than the
Yes.
men. Men have different kinds of control.
Women tend to control more than men. Yes. Moms tend to want to protect you. They control you because they think they are afraid. The control comes from fear that something bad is going to happen, and that we love and we want to help, and that's why we control, which is wrong, because they don't belong to us. You're
I
right.
have to confess that I was almost to the point of doing the same thing my mom did to me.
Oh boy.
And I was like, oh, I'm doing the same thing. I can't do the same thing. If I have a different understanding now, you just let go, because I didn't like to be controlled in a certain way. And how can I go repeat the same thing? So that was a big lesson too.
You were breaking the chain, and
Breaking the
that's what I see. Our hardest job is to stop and let go of control, and we've had it for generations, and we have to break that chain of thinking that we have control or have anything to do with somebody's lives, or wanting some from ego trip, wanting to get recognition for having influenced somebody. But in reality, we're there to do whatever the universe lets us to, but we are not that powerful.
But maybe we have the power of doing it, but it is part of, how can I say it, our free will to do it or not. And if we do it, we will have consequences, because one of the laws of the universe is whatever you send, it will come back to you. So if you send a message of control, that comes back to you in a way that you will be pushed to learn that lesson in a harder way sometimes.
And
So,
something
so
occurred to me is the fact that instead of controlling, we're when they let us, when the person or the situation allows us, we're more guides from our experience and inner wisdom, guides of what should be done, and we let people express themselves and act as they will and choose what they want, and we're there for advice if they want, support if they want, but there's no way we can control the whole country, the whole family, or a whole life, or there is, well, we could go into politics, but I won't. But yeah, so
let
control.
go of the control of that.
Yeah. Well, let's not try to control that subject because that would get terrible.
We already have a lot on learning to let go of our control, our personal control.
Yeah. And I think that when we let go of control, we experience freedom.
Absolutely, absolutely. It is like getting this heavy backpack out of your back. It's like,
Yeah, I was talking to one of my clients today, and we were talking about the control. She was trying to control her kids and her husband and this and that. And I said, it's like you have a backpack, and the more factors you try to control, it's a very, very, very heavy rock you're putting in your backpack, like you said. And here we have our backpack full of stones that we have to carry because we think we're controlling them.
so
And
you see that controlling actually leads us to feel heavier in the journey, or like stuck. No, it gets
yeah,
control gets us stuck
yeah,
because we waste so much energy into trying to control the external
that's the
factors.
key. We waste so much energy. You said it right on. I think that we have a limited energy, and we drain our energy trying to get things to go our way. Well, we could be spending it somewhere else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Creating something beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Why not? Like
being
this.
being happy.
Yeah. Like you're creating a beautiful space here so we can discuss and uncover different realities and realize beautiful things so we can be happy. That is the hardest thing for a human being, is to learn to let go, so to find happiness, right?
Yeah, I think it's got to do with our identification with our ego, and it is in a
Yes.
certain way selfish to think that we have the, how would I say, the dever, the obligation
Mhm.
to fix things outside of us. You know, you look at, I don't know, the neighbor. That's something I'm dealing with. Letting go of control of what the neighbor is doing across my window. Unless it crosses my boundaries. But what was I lost my track. The the
Obligation. You
ego
said
and
right?
selfishness.
The ego.
I want to share with you a song, a Brazilian song. The guy already passed away, but he was very smart on the words he used for his songs. They were very deep.
Uh-huh.
And this one he called the carpenter of the universe. So the
Carpenter.
carpenter of the universe.
Carpenter. Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
So the song is about him saying, "I'm the carpenter of the universe." And I feel that I was born to fix things that can't be fixed.
Oh
So
goodness.
this is like leading him into all this suffering because he's trying to control all
Uh-huh.
these things and fix. Oh, I'm not going to turn off the light at night because this person is coming late and he might fall because can't see, this kind of
Mhm.
control. Well, if the person comes and it's dark, they are already
Responsible.
responsible. Yeah.
Yes. That's the thing. That's exactly it. We have to allow others to be responsible for themselves. And really, we're not allowing anything. We're just
Good
we're just
point.
letting go of our fantasy that we can control, and just release that. And it's like a weight, like we were saying about the backpack. The weight is lighter when you let go, isn't it? I that is the, I think in the last probably 5 years that I have achieved the realization that I need to let go. I knew I had to do it, but I couldn't accept it or achieve it. And now it's like, whatever, if they fall coming in at night and there's no light, well, they can use the light on their iPhone or their mobile phone, or they can fall.
So many situations that we can actually go through easier if we let it flow instead of trying to control. Like one time we wanted to drive somewhere here in the valley, and I used the GPS to get us there, but the GPS sent us through a dirt road full of holes, and it was just getting deeper and horrible. And then I'm like, okay, should we go back or should we continue? I know we're gonna get there. And how is the road going? And all this control starts kicking in, and you're angry because the GPS is sending you through the situation.
Oh gosh.
At one point, okay, whatever, we're here, and we'll just go.
Let it flow. Yeah.
Go enjoy,
Yeah.
and then see the animals, the
Yeah.
trees.
Yeah.
It's raining. Oh, beautiful!
Enjoy the ride. Yeah. I have had that. We were going to Salt Lake City, and they had covered some road because they were in construction, and then the GPS sent us. There's a lot of farms around there, and then we are rerouted to this farmland, and we were going through people's they're like dirt roads, and we're like, oh my goodness, I don't know, we're gonna get out of here. And it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. We're all stressed. There was big holes in the road, same kind of thing. And we said, okay, just let it go, take deep breaths and just enjoy the ride. And we
And
actually
before you
did
let
that.
go, how were you feeling before that? Were you did you start
Stressed.
getting angry and stressed? And
Yeah, we were arguing with my husband. We were like,
same.
you did this and you did that, and getting angry at each other. We were
And it's
not
nobody's fault.
enjoying it.
It's
No.
the GPS trying to control us.
Yeah. And we trust. That's another thing. Is I think that part of letting go is trusting that everything is going to work out.
I totally agree with that. Trust the universe. Trust that you are at the perfect place at the perfect time with the perfect person or people.
Yeah.
You're always
Yeah. As
like,
long as you're not ending your journey right away, and even if you did your journey on this earth, well, c'est la vie, that's where it stops. But you have no control when you arrive or when you leave on this journey. So
that's
why worry about the medal? Yeah.
that made it remind me of when I used to dance and perform in public. Usually, people it's like normal to have a choreography that every single step you're going to do in that performance. But I could never do that. I knew the song very well, and I knew how I was going to start,
Mhm.
some accents in between, and how I was going to end. But I always let it go in between, wherever the body was going, and moving, and and it was never the same. But that drove some people crazy because they wanted to control. They can no, you can't do that. It's got to be the step by step, exactly the step by step, and that's control, right? So
Yeah.
in art, I think when you let control, beautiful things happen, and it's the same thing for life. Beautiful things happen.
I think that's why you and I are in the professions that we chose, is because we had to learn to let go in our journey. And for example, if you are a biologist, a scientist, or an engineer, or an electrician, everything has to be controlled. So, and with the professions that we chose very creative, very beautiful, professions where we need to let go. And I think that's one of the things that we came to learn, is to let go, right? And in your dance, you had to let go. I've seen you dance.
Hard. That was hard. Letting go of dance because of injuries, and maybe now I don't know. I'm feeling a shift now that
How so?
letting go of that of being able to dance without pain. I'm starting to heal the pain. That's
Really?
interesting. It just came to my mind now. Yeah,
You're starting to heal the physical pain?
yeah. By letting go
Wonderful.
of, so it was, no, it was control. I was trying to control the situation
Okay.
of, hmm,
This brings something up. Stress will bring pain to the body. There's a lot of empaths that pick up energy from other people. And there's a lot of people that experience pain because they have traumas and they suffer a lot of stress, and pain develops from it, and anxiety and many other ailments. It's from the pain to try to control and not letting go of things that happen even in the past, as a child, in vitro, as a teenager, as a young adult. And you hold those things, you don't let go of those pains, and that
would,
causes a lot of stress and pain in the future, physical pain.
would you say that that's helpful for empaths to actually realize that they should let go of
Yes,
what they are getting from other people?
yes, yes,
Maybe
that's
that
one.
is causing
Mhm,
pain as empaths, is that we're holding into these things from other people and
mhm.
trying to control that instead of just letting go
Letting
too.
it pass. You have to surround yourself with lighter protection, and know that, acknowledge that you're perceiving, that you're feeling what they're feeling, but it doesn't belong to you. You know that's happening. You can recognize that person is going through a lot of pain, but you need to let go because it's not yours. All of those feelings are not inside of you. They do not belong to you, and that's another way to let go.
Wow, I think this is very deep. Not anything that we want to control is not ours.
Mhm.
At the point, at the moment you want to control is not yours.
It's
So you
right.
have to let it go.
And think about it, how many things do we really control are really ours? How many? Very, very few. Maybe just getting up from bed, taking a shower, that's within your control, right? But whatever happens, and when you're interacting with another person, there's a lot of things that are not within your control.
I think life is like that example I was giving about not having an exact, not being attached to a choreography. So you make a
Attachment.
plan. You make a
Mm-hmm.
plan. Okay, I'm gonna do this and this in life, and then
Mm-hmm.
things interact with external things, and
Yes.
not always is what you plan. And you have to be flexible and in acceptance of flowing with the different path that's
Mm-hmm.
shown
Mm-hmm.
on your way,
Going with the flow.
flowing with the flow.
Yeah. Is the trust to go with the flow, is the letting go of the fear of something bad is going to happen. I need to control this. And a lot of those things we're not taught to let go. And that's one of the most important things, is to trust, to not have fear. And we are full of fears.
Trust our intuition. I think that explains what intuition is too, right? It
Yes. Yeah.
is
Mhm.
this knowing without the control that you can trust the process.
Mhm. There is your heart chakra, right?
Hmm.
And that's when you know, because you're something inside of you that is not conscious, that is not physical, knows your path, knows your journey, knows what's right and what's wrong. And when it doesn't feel right, you gotta let go.
Unless you want to be unhappy.
Yeah, yeah, of course. If you want to be unhappy, then just try to control everything. Go for it.
We can't control the ones that want to control.
Yeah,
At
that's
the
true.
end, it's a matter of choice, right? Everyone has, and that's why we're born here with free will to experiment the options and the choices, and
Yeah.
understand that nothing is set on stone because we're always choosing.
Hmm.
So when I do readings, I always explain that to people because I can read and say, okay, this is what probably is going to happen if you
Hmm.
continue to do what you're doing right now. But why are you having a reading? Because you might want to change something, right? So
Yeah.
you don't like this outcome, maybe I should change something. So
Hmm.
the reading is more about knowing yourself and knowing that you have the ability of changing things
Hmm.
for you, right? So
Hmm.
the external things, you just got to let them go. But
Hmm.
you can change yourself, your perspective of things.
That's key. What you said. You can change yourself, but you cannot change anything else. The rest is up to somebody else, right? Or the universe, yeah, or the journey. But the only person you really have control over is yourself. Is how you feel and how you think of whatever situation. Yeah, very true. Very, very deep. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that.
And I just remember today on the Mayan calendar, it's Transformation Day.
Mm-hmm.
So you are aware that we are getting into the middle of the Zolkin calendar, which is that column in the middle. It's
Mm-hmm.
the connection directly with the central sun of the galaxy, or how the Mayans called Hunabku.
Yeah,
Hunabku
cool.
was is the central sun of the galaxy. So when we are on those days on the center of that column,
Mm-hmm.
we are receiving energy directly from Hunabku without
Ooh,
filters.
cool. Very cool.
And today it's, I think it's the number 9. Let me pull this calendar here. Day
We
number
have
9.
to do a session on the Mayan calendar.
And
Definitely.
number 9, look at that. We're in sync with the frequency of the day, because today it's the white solar world bridger. What that means is it's the frequency number 9, which is activating. So we're activating the white world bridger, which is radical transformation,
Mm-hmm.
guide, guided by the white wind, which is communication. So
Oh,
we're activating a radical transformation through communication.
and this is what we're doing today as well.
That's what we're doing today.
We are synchronized.
Synchronized with the flow of the universe. When you feel that you're not synchronized, then you can check if you're trying to control something.
Mhm.
There might be some mechanism of control happening when you're not in sync.
Yeah, in sync is the word. Is you have to be in sync with your heart chakra. That will allow you to sense, am I going the right path or not? If you're not in the right path, you'll it won't feel right. If you are, you'll feel a lot of love in your heart chakra. You feel this energy that makes you move forward. Yes.
And that operates miracles, and it creates amazing things when you're in that state of connection with your heart chakra, with your unconditional love, and
Yes.
you're present on the here and now. Amazing things happen. Amazing things happen. And
Absolutely.
that's also like other things that I have experienced was like with the band and having a show, and we sometimes don't know how the sound system is going to be, how the audience is going to react, and then people start getting nervous. Oh, we didn't rehearse enough. What's going to happen? What should we dress? And as a band leader, I sometimes people might think that I'm not like the leader they expect, because they think the leader should be controlling and just saying this is what's going to be, period.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not that kind of leader. I'm the kind of leader that helps people flow. Okay, relax, breathe. Everything is going to be all right at the end. As soon as you're sharing happiness on stage, that's what people are going to get from that performance.
You
You can
raise the energy. You've always raised the energy, and you're always happy. You're always smiling. You're always laughing. And that is very contagious. And it's very important because you are sharing love, rhythm, music that makes people happy, right? So you are the perfect leader for that.
going back to control from that you said, when you raise the vibes and share that state, you're
Mm-hmm.
changing yourself, and you're not trying to control and change others. But just by you tapping into that frequency,
Uh-huh.
people have the opportunity to actually also flow
Raise
in,
theirs.
yeah, raise theirs. Yeah, yeah.
It's contagious. Like laughter. For example,
Mhm.
if you start laughing and you don't stop laughing, people that don't even understand why you're laughing will start laughing because laughter is contagious. Happiness is contagious. So is dread and anger. So, which one do you choose? The sad or the happy?
Absolutely.
It's your choice, right?
Laughter is a very powerful magical tool, because it breaks down with seriousness of things. Even when you're performing a ritual of any kind, and you're totally immersed into the seriousness of the ritual, you
Mm-hmm.
can finish it and then step out of it and start laughing.
Mm-hmm.
Then you just let off the control of the outcome of your desire that you were working into that
Mm-hmm.
personal ritual. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if I express it well, but it's very, very powerful, laughing.
I've
And
known you for many years, since you were a baby. And I have I have admired that beautiful positiveness and happiness inside of you. That no matter what happened to you, it could be really horrible things or sour things or anger around you, but you always were laughing. You chose to laugh. You cried sometimes, but you wanted to laugh and you chose the high road. I admire you profoundly. And that's why I agreed to meet with you, because I think you have great things that are accompanying you. Great. I think we all have guides and masters.
we all have.
Yes. And I think you have a lot of potential. Your voice, oh my gosh, your voice is amazing. I hope that we can enjoy your voice sometime. You can share and indulge us with your beautiful voice.
Carpinteiro do universo, eu sou. Thank you, Susie. And it's likewise. I also admire you profoundly, and we're more than relatives. We're sisters in spirit.
We
I
are.
think we've been, uh, how would I say, uh, aware of each other's journey, although we haven't been sharing physically our journeys, but we have been aware of each other's journey.
I think we belong to the same tribe
Mm.
beyond this human form. We belong to the tribe that is going to help transform this earth for as long as we live, and then somebody else will take on. And there's many people like us that belong to our
Yes,
tribe.
yes, and there are some have been awakened for a long time, but some are awakening now to their mission, and there's
Mm-hmm.
people now sharing their knowledge, sharing their
Mhm.
experience, and raising their vibrations, pulling
Mhm.
others to awaken together.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there's some people that have passed on. Today, a cousin of mine passed on, a very dear cousin of mine who was sweet, caring, very, very big heart. And I I know that he's walking to the light. I know that our journey here is short, very, very short. Uh, his
I mean,
name was Mario.
That was today.
Yeah, this morning. Yeah, his name was
The,
Mario.
the symbol of today, the radical transformation symbol of the Mayan calendar, it also represents that, and that as
Ah,
a link in between worlds.
yes.
That's what that is that
Mhm.
passage. You leave one
Yes.
reality and continue into another one.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I want to send my good energy towards his passing to another journey, to the light, to to all the love that there is in the universe, and where there's no pain, because in this human form we do experience pain,
Mhm.
such as joy as well, but the love that you get at the other end when you don't have this body anymore is so immense. That
Do,
love
do
in
you
the
want to
light is
share?
amazing.
Do you want to share with us your experience about what you saw on the other side?
Ha! Sure, I'd love to. um, I have a friend who does hypnotherapy. Her name is Isabel, and she did a hypnotherapy session for me about a year after my father had passed. And I, uh, I was very sad, and I was worried to see, to know whether he was okay or not, whether he was in love or not, in harmony or not. And then she said, "Well, let's do a hypnotherapy session, and you can look for him." I said, "Sure, let's try it." Very, very curious to see what happened. So she did the induction, and she said, "Okay, listen to my voice." And then she said, "Now you're going to see your dad." And then all of a sudden, I saw this huge light, just amazing light. And then this little speck, like an atom of light, was detaching itself a tiny bit from the light. It didn't have the face of my dad, but I felt he was there. And we didn't talk. It was all kind of telepathy. And I asked him, "Are you okay, Dad?" And he said, "Yes, I am the happiest I have ever been while I was alive. Go in peace because I'm happy." Oh, my heart was just full of joy. And then all of a sudden, he kind of disappears and he joins the light. Then I focused to the light, and the light was pulsating love. That's the best I can describe it. But it was like a magnet. I was drawn toward it. It was like a sweet nectar to a bee. I was I was drawn and drawn toward it. My friend said that I started to exhale but not inhale. So I was going, and then she got scared and she said, "Susie, Susie, I want you to come back." And she pulled me back, right? Okay, one, two, three, then she said, "Susie, open your eyes." And I couldn't open my eyes. She said, "Susie, open your eyes." I opened my eyes, and the moment I come back to my body, I feel this love that was so intense. I felt my chest was gonna crack. It was so strong, it hurt. And then I start crying.
Amazing experience.
My tears start to roll, and she said, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, yeah, I'm fine, I'm fine." It's so intense. I can't stand the intensity. It hurts, but it's good, I'm fine. Anyway, she left, and I before she left, I noticed that that light was coming out of everything. Light was coming out of her, like big, like threads of light, like this intense light. And so I go, oh my gosh, I need to go out. So I went for a walk. And I kid you not, the trees were emanating light. The grass was emanating light. The flowers were emanating light. People would go across me, they would emanate light, different intensities of light, like very vibrant light. Everything was so strong, so beautiful. And then as the day went by, the light went. I never saw it again under normal
Do you
circumstances.
realize what he did? Like he's vibrating on a very high frequency, and your contact with him raised your vibration to the point you open your channels to see things as they really are, with the lights emanating.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that kind of vision reminds me of what you see when you take ayahuasca. That's
Mm-hmm.
plant from the Amazon. Everything
Uh-huh.
turns like it's got light of its own and colors of its own. It's amazing.
You
And you,
did that, right?
yes, I did. One time only.
It's
Was
intense, huh? I
it
haven't
was
done it, but I heard it's very intense.
well, but you had the same experience. You not necessarily has to be through taking the
It
plant.
was. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm not a big fan of taking any chemical substance, even if it's a plant, because
Mm-hmm.
I I like to be in control.
Again, yeah, the subject.
The thing is that if you take something like that, it takes a certain amount of hours to go, and you can't get out of that state of awareness
Mm-hmm.
until
Oh,
the substance wears out of your body.
you're a prisoner to that. the 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 plant, the effects of the plant. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. Oh wow, that must be intense. I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I like prefer like your experience that you went in and out, and it wasn't like you were depending on that substance to wear out. It was a natural
Mm-hmm.
process happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Sometimes the process is triggered by force, and the
Mm-hmm.
person is not prepared and ready for the experience. It can
Ooh,
cause issues
oh, I
with
bet.
staying in certain states of
Mm-hmm.
confusion, or many people end up at psychiatric hospitals
Jeez.
because they don't understand what's going on. And they
Ooh,
just broken something, and the medicine doesn't work.
dangerous.
Yeah,
It could be dangerous if you're not in a
yeah,
in a in a state that your whole, not just emotional but psychological self is not strong enough to endure that trip, because it must be a trip, quite
yeah,
a
it is.
trip.
Yeah. Again, I think it's very individual, and everybody has a choice of doing whatever they want to wake
Mm-hmm.
up certain channels. But you have to be aware if you're ready to see
Mm-hmm.
things beyond the veil, beyond the, because it is
Yeah,
kind of like stripping
yeah.
out
Mm-hmm.
veils of your vision, and okay, wow, everything is got light. Wow. And now you know
Yeah.
that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can
Mm-hmm.
bring that back to you if you
Mm-hmm.
want, to meditation, and
Mm-hmm.
when necessary, you
Mm-hmm.
will have it again.
Mm-hmm.
The channel is open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know that I have I'm blessed to have seen that. And I asked my friend, so you know what I mean when you see the light and everything. She said, no, no, I don't. What happened to you is very unique. And then I kept that thought in my head, and then I just about 2 weeks ago I saw a video about what happens to people after they die, and the light. And you know how you say to somebody that's gonna die, when when you can walk towards the light, go towards the light, because the light will help you cross, and your loved ones will come and accompany you to go through the light. And that's where love is. And we are light. Right now we are light, but we don't even know it because we believe only in the physical. It's like, do you believe in something you don't see? Well, people say no. Well, you feel love, but you can't see it. Do you believe in love? You know?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
You cannot touch it. You cannot breathe it. You don't, it's not material, but it's there. So,
Yeah, it's very deep, very deep.
yeah, very, very deep.
And
Yeah.
hypnotherapy, it's a very powerful tool. Also, very it's very important that the person taking care of you, like the your friend who was guiding you through the process, she perceived that she needed to bring you back, and that's important.
I wanted to go to that light. I was ready to just go for it. I mean, it was so beautiful. Forget the light. I mean, I want to go to that light. Yeah. After seeing that, I'm not afraid of dying. You know, I know that's awaiting for me, and I'm really not afraid of dying. It's
I think that's a very important stage of consciousness, and probably what's causing most suffering in the world right now is the lack of understanding that death is only a link in between journeys, and your consciousness is focusing here, and without the body you will focus somewhere else. So the lack of understanding about that death, it's making people suffer in anticipation of the fear of dying because of the threats that are happening. And the threats are part of a test. We're like
yeah,
writing the last test of our journey as humanity in this cycle. Writing the last test. Okay, we now are going to be tested everywhere on every aspect of things we've learned. And
yeah.
if we're still
Hardships are tests. Hardships, pain in this world are tests to see how you behave, what you experience, how you react, whether you let go or not. Right?
right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
I think and I feel the vibrations so high right now, and I think we said what we needed to say. I don't know if anything else comes to your mind right now.
I think mainly just a grateful heart. I feel a need to say thank you to you first, to the opportunity, to to life, that we have this space, this sacred and safe space to open up different hard subjects that some people agree with, some people don't. Everybody's entitled to whatever they want to think or feel. And
Perfect.
for whomever is open to this, I am thankful for this sacred space to share.
And I'm thankful that you accepted and you came and we shared this. And while you were talking, it came to my mind a memory of part of my life when I was trying to control things. Well, you're always being tested about things, but when I was a teenager, I wanted to convince everybody at school, at high school, that extraterrestrials existed.
Mm-hmm.
That was part of control, right? Because I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
convince everybody, and I know they exist. So you have to be. And then I spent a long time trying to control that, trying to convince people. And then all of a sudden you realize, you know what?
What?
I don't need to convince anybody about anything. I
Yeah,
just know, and
that's all
and
you need
people
to.
will know, and they will know whenever they need to know. That's it.
Yeah, letting go of trying to convince people of how you see the world that you think is right, but maybe it's not their own truth. Maybe is their own truth is different than yours, obviously, right? But for whatever is is allowed right now, this is what we're sharing, right? And I think there's a lot of love and forgiveness and is the faith in yourself, the trust in yourself that allows you to let go, that everything will be okay, everything will turn out okay. Do your very best within what you have control over, but let go of anything else that does not serve you.
Yeah, the control leads us to resistance, and resistance causes pain.
Yes.
Right. So we are in a point in the world right now that many truths are coming out to surface, and many things we might perceive them as painful, but it's actually a very a great process of opening, because
Mm-hmm.
they're changing and they cannot continue the way they were, right? But the process is there is a lot of resistance, and the resistance is causing pain.
You know, physics, resistance. You know how you're. It takes energy to when you're going down the hill to stop the flow. You have to put a lot of resistance, and resistance requires energy. So we're spending a lot of energy stopping the flow from going, and it's going to go. Right?
Exactly. It's going to go no matter what.
No matter what. We're wasting our energy trying to put the brakes on something that has to go, right?
That reminds me of what Ibn said one time, because he used to bike a lot, and he used to bike at night uphill. And
Oh,
one
dear.
night he was coming down a hill very fast, and he went through a bump and had like an epic fall. But he said that during the fall, he remembered that if he resisted, he would get hurt. So
Okay.
he just let go, and he fell. He did get hurt, but not as much as he could have if he didn't let go
Se
of that.
puso flojito. He just relaxed.
Yeah, because if you relax, you hurt less, because you just, I don't know, you
You
fall
bounce.
accordingly.
You go with the flow. Oh, thank you so much. This was awesome.
So share with people how they can contact you and what you can offer them. And
Yeah, we can put it in the link down below, but they can go to my website is www.a as in Anna, M as in mother, A as in Anna, H as in heart, R as in rose, and E as in energy, amahre.com. Yes.
thank you, Susy. Thank you for your presence, and for your laughs, and for your wisdom, and for your unconditional love sharing tonight. And we have to do this again. So think about another team.
Okay, I will.
All right. And I will say goodbye to, and click. Oh, everybody on YouTube has to say that. Click like, click to subscribe. Have the
Yeah.
channel. Share. And now I'm just gonna let go of that.
Yeah, let go of the control of the rest. Yeah, awesome. I loved it. Till we meet again.
Bye,
Ciao.
everybody. Bye, Susie.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah. Okay.